take a look at this award-winning revamp of Gali Mata. In today's video, I want to spotlight all the clever building techniques and the nice part use that's being used within this creation. Studying the design, hopefully it's going to teach you a thing or two, or just inspire you to build your own LEGO creations. Because to me, that's what makes a LEGO creation good, when you can look at it and say, oh man, I want to build something. Hopefully it does that for you. So let's dive in and take a look at how this is built. This revamp of Gali was built by Alex Mox. I was able to see this up close at Brickfair Virginia this year. What I think is so good about this mock is that Alex adds his own personal touches to the character. The body design and the overall aesthetic really captures the anatomy of a female diver. And the idea of making them seem like they're wearing a wetsuit and scuba gear, well, that's perfect for Gali. I mean, she literally wears the mask of water breathing. And looking at the mask, I always thought that it looked like she was wearing some kind of breath mask and goggles. So this vibe is totally in line with the original set. I quite like the changes to the weapon. The set saw her with 2 hooks, which was cool. But here we have a big blue anchor. This anchor piece originally came out on the, I think it was 2012 Gun subset, the one that you're seeing on your screen right now. And that's then attached to this large blue cable. It's a nice nautical themed weapon. Sure, it's different to the original set, but I like it being a little different. I imagine that Alex has very likely placed some type of wire inside this flex tube, and that ensures that it rests at this angle. An angle where she can kind of wrap it around her hand and fling it around. Because LEGO flex tubing, it's good, it bends pretty easily, but it doesn't like to stay in that exact shape. But thankfully wires help it to do so. One small detail that I really enjoy here is the use of this large Technic figure helmet visor. Placing this on the very top of the arm, it acts as some kind of like additional armor. Like a shoulder pad. I think it's nice. Especially because this arm design is pretty much only using that medium blue limb piece. Which, by the way, is an exclusive piece that only comes in this color on the Paraka set Thok. But yeah, when the upper arm is essentially just this piece, it might look a little plain or boring. So a tiny extra hint of armor makes this a little bit more visually exciting. And I think it's also a nice throwback to the original Gali Mata set, because looking at her shoulders, they were black. Nice little throwback, I like it. Oh, and sorry, of course, if you're not familiar with what the heck this visor piece is in black, well, they appeared in some of the early Technic figures. Technic sets back in the day, they used to have these highly posable figures that could ride inside the vehicles. They were super cool. I hope that one day LEGO decides to bring them back. I loved them. But yeah, some of them had helmets with visors attached onto them, which you could take off and use on a Bionicle if you really want. The torso also uses some chrome gold Lord of the Rings ring pieces. We can see them just on the side of the torso there. But what is this? Why are they here? Well, I don't fully know. But it pops very nicely. It looks good up against all these different colors of blue. It's a nice accent color, I mean, perhaps this is just a part of all of the various pieces of scuba gear that we see on the character. And on the subject of that, Alex has put things like booster engines on her back. This would help her swim at greater speeds. We also have these black propeller pieces on her legs, and there's plenty of other like wires and tubing, stuff like this. The aesthetic of built-in scuba gear, that's just a really fun design choice for a tower of water. And actually, even down below we can see these flippers on her feet. These flippers use some of these very tiny Technic panel elements in black. Pieces like this appeared on the backs of various Star Wars Ultra Build characters, as you can see right here. One such figure that uses them in black is, of course, Darth Maul. Oh, and I have to mention this little tiny base. The subtle rockwork and the sand green and olive green seaweed below, so pretty. The way that the green contrasts very nicely with the black and blue color scheme of Gali, it's phenomenal. And the fact too that this diorama helps paint a little picture of her swimming underwater. It adds a delightful amount of storytelling to the mock. Yeah, I think you can see why this mock won an award at Brickfair Virginia this year. Like you can see right here. The leg design of this mock is rather interesting. It's using a medium blue wedge piece with some stickers on it. This stickered element originally came on this wonderful Exoforce mech. This mech was actually a part of a larger Exoforce set, Sentai Fortress. It's always delightful to see stickers on Bionicle creations, especially Exoforce stickers, because those stickers, they kind of have the vibes of the stickers you see on Gundam mechs. Seeing them on this mock, it really ups the robotic vibe of the character, and I love that. I feel like this would look a little too plain if it didn't have stickers on it. But adding that in is just a nice little extra hint of detail, and I'm here for it. Taking another look at this, I'm not sure if this is being held up with that rubber band element, or if that rubber band is just wrapped around the leg for aesthetic purposes. Not sure. Oh, and also, check out this finger design. It's using the modern robot arm piece that appears in Monkey Kid sets, like this figure right here. So this piece is used on the fingers, but the thumbs, they're using this older robotic arm that we saw on some of the Bionicle minifigures that came in the various system playsets. See, this is great. It's always so good seeing builders play around with different pieces for fingers. Cause sure, your classic Hydraxon robot finger design, it's awesome, it's literally perfection. But people use those exact Exoforce robot arm pieces on fingers all the time. At least this spices things up a little bit. We can see on the top of the hand in this not so well photographed image, my bad, we can see a black mixel joint. Now, this piece certainly doesn't exist in black in official LEGO sets. If you look closely, you will not see a LEGO logo on this piece because it is indeed a bootleg element. I believe this came from the store WeBrick. They sell a lot of knockoff elements in colors that LEGO doesn't produce them in. I mean, dude, this piece is such a helpful element. To get it in black is a game changer. LEGO, time to produce this piece in black. Come on now. Moving back to the arms, we have this elbow joint, and I think it's really cool. I like how it's built using this black 1x2 rounded plate, and in between those two plates, we have this element. This technique is quite simple, but it does allow for a very posable arm design that's also incredibly thin. It's a nice touch. It fits the vibe of the mock very nicely, it's a good technique, there's so much to love about it. Now, I was fascinated by the back of Gully's head. I'd seen this trans yellow piece before, in fact I think I own some, but I had no idea where it came from. So I did a bit of research and I found out that in trans yellow it appeared in this old Technic helicopter. Hey, there's one of those Technic figures with a helmet. We were just talking about them. But yeah, the basic frame of this helicopter, it's using a few of these pieces as structural supports. Look, it's an older piece, but it's fairly useful. And I think it looks great for the eye stalk on the back of her head. Nice thinking. One more clever part use that I enjoy is a fairly new Technic piece in blue. It's this small blue Technic panel. This size of Technic panel is popping up more and more in modern sets. For example, if you want this one right here, I believe it comes in this Technic set. You can see it on the very back, right up top. And using it for chest armor on a Bionicle mock? Good idea. So there you go, man. I think this is a brilliant revamp of Gali Mata. So much of Alex's unique building style is injected into this creation, but it's also paying homage to the awesomeness of that original set. So yeah, nice work, Alex. And hey, if you want to see more of Alex's work, check the links in the description below. There you'll find heaps more of his designs. Go follow him on social media, leave a like, leave a comment, and let him know what you think of his incredible creations. Thanks for watching, guys, happy building, and bye for now.